the center for the human family is a unique and how should I say, it is of the moment and for the moment. And that's what I'd like you to think about for while I'm talking, giving you some final words after listening to the talented, innovative interns that were culled from more than 1,000 applicants. And so you can understand just by that alone how many people are interested in this idea and why. Well, think about all the museums that we go to, right? We have a museum for fish, we have a dolphinarium, an aquarium, we have dinosaur museum, we have one just by my house. We have Museum of Natural History, we have a museum, the history of art, we have everything, but we don't have a center to honor the human family. And yet the human family is at the core of civilization. Without the human family, we wouldn't have anything else. But what happens when there's trouble in the human family? And I have to say, on a personal note, this is a very poignant moment for me because Israel was attacked today. And so here again, we have to revisit one of the oldest family feuds in the history of humankind, and that is Ishmael and Isaac, the two brothers, can't seem to get along. And they're also the people in the generations after that, their descendants are also having a really hard time. And we know that if we want to resolve the problems of the world, and if we ever want to see peace in our lifetime, we have to start at the most intimate level of society, which is the human family. And the thought that one could go to a center where you not only have a chance to visit the history, the development, the evolution, and the amazing achievements of civilization, but that you could also visit a therapy room and get help if you and your family are in trouble. Who could ever conceive anything like that? Heidi Harden envisioned that because of her own experiences of child trauma. She felt that that would be a way to have people not just educate themselves and learn new things, but have a center where they could go for assistance and to work out those intimate, maybe tiny for the rest of the world, but we know that just like in physics, when you move the little finger of your hand, you are rearranging the rest of the molecules in the entire world. And it's also true what happens spiritually and in families, that the small action of one person can affect not just the people around them, but subsequently all of society. So this is a brilliant idea. I want to congratulate you, Heidi, and I want to say something to all of you about what your role might be in the future. So imagine a place that's not static and complete, but in the state of being created, incomplete because it needs you. What ideas could you bring to this concept of the human family? In the second floor where the therapy rooms are, you may have an idea for a game or an activity that the families could play together or could experience together that could change what happens to them when they leave the center. On the first floor, imagine that. Chefs from all over the world teaching us about food of other cultures. We know that one of the best ways to establish friendship among people of diverse backgrounds is to break bread together, to have a meal together, and then share recipes. We know that. We've worked in the interfaith community for 40 years. We know that is one of the starting places. And the third floor, the Paradise Project, well, that speaks to my heart in particular, first of all, because the tree of life comes from the Kabbalistic understanding, the Jewish mystical understanding of how we access the different aspects of God and how we are inspired by that, and what is the interaction between us and the different emanations, and then how we proceed in finding in the middle section the balance, the core. So the fact that there are going to be so many different religions that take part in that, and that people who come in from all over the world, because I envision this as a universal center. for the human family. That when people come in, they can find their own religion and immediately feel included. And then they can also learn about the other religions. It's a genius concept. And so I commend all of you, Heidi in particular. I know this is a baby of yours, but now look at all the caretakers for the baby that you have. And the last thing I want to remind you all of is, do you remember the film A Field of Dreams? So what is the famous line that we all carried away from there? It said, if you build it, they will come. But I think there's a variation of that saying today, and that is, they will come when you build it. So all of us are now invited to take part in this building creative process. And all of us will be the ones who will make the dream come true. It's not just one individual or a handful of individuals. It's going to be multiples and myriads of people using their talents and ingenuity. And especially, I see so many of the interns are from the younger generation. It's going to be an intergenerational project that has ramifications far beyond just the center itself. It will be a learning center for the different generations to come together and work on common problems and not leave anybody out in the process. On the contrary, everyone is to be included. So congratulations. This is a very exciting day for the launch. And I appreciate having had a taste in the virtual presentation. And I can't wait for the real Center for the Human Family to be erected and to have the opportunity to go from floor to floor and to know that all of you have been responsible for creating it. And there will be people among you who will also be able to bring your own contribution for the future. It's going to be a living, growing, breathing center. Thank you.